Right then, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Shadows Over Loathing. What are we doing? Goodness knows, I've had a hell of a week and I've forgotten absolutely everything we were doing. Rufus wants you to collect 3 pounds of eggs from the fishermen that live down in the sewers beneath SIT in Ocean City. I seem to remember that we tried going under there and we discovered a fish restaurant that was absolutely revolting. Take the mosquito bags back to the grilling guy at Zeta Omega Omicron. Oh, we could probably do that. An unusually smart rat in the sewer. I remember the rat, but I don't remember him being particularly, mentally astute. You wander through a doorway marked Department of Esoteric and Forbidden Mathematics, and immediately get lost, despite the fact that there is a single straight hallway without any intersections. The wall and floor meet at weird angles, but I didn't mention the ceiling, because there isn't one. Just another... What's the difference between a ceiling and a wall? Other than the fact that one is perpendicular to the floor and one is parallel. As you're desperately trying to keep your cool and figure your way out of here, an office door opens and a cloud of irrational numbers seep out. So irrational, you might call them insane. Hello? Who are you? You're a hobo clobber. Morgan Waldorf will clobber Congruence Cascade for 12 physical damage and excellent alliteration. Okay, let's do some clobbering of this, congruence. Spiffing. I don't think those shapes were congruent, because I'm pretty sure there were some triangles and hexagons in there, which means they weren't congruent, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that we need to shoot something, because I have the distinct impression that the wear and tear on my weapons doesn't matter in the slightest. I have developed a suspicion, you might say. Score 1 for the humanities. And I have more loose integers. The hell am I doing with these again? Yeah, I have the distinct impression that this will just infinitesimally get closer to 15, but it will never quite reach it. Like, to keep with the mathematics here, there'll be an asymptote at 15 as this tends towards infinity. As like the number of shots tends to infinity, this value will tend to 15, but it will never quite reach it. Never mind. What are these? These are numbers that I just hold in my brain, apparently, and I never do anything with them. Right then. This is where the loud music is, isn't it? Yes. Never mind. Let's speak to you. Give him wood chips. Indeed. Which frankly sounds like an innuendous, but never mind. Thank you. They're probably going to make real smoky. Yeah, that's how you know it's a party, because it's full of smoke. Yeah, and that's probably one of the reasons why I'm not an inordinate fan of parties. Right then. This doesn't matter, I have no idea where we're going. What's my actual main quest line in terms of getting my education? Make some chrome polish in the chemistry room. I remember doing that, but I sucked at it completely. The chemicals is the thing that this is related to, and I need to do the astronomy class. You can get help in the library. Perhaps we should go to the library, because I really have no idea how to do the chemistry puzzles. So let's go into the library and see what help we can get from... Do you remember a certain horrific circus sideshow which contains certain interesting individuals? I do, despite the fact it was an extremely long time ago, and I remember they looked like you. They might have looked like you, depending on what the backside of you looks like, if that's not an impertinent question of me to say, and they certainly looked like you. Hello, sir. An elderly gentleman greets you with a polite, inquiring smile. How does one smile inquiringly? Hello again. Are you a student now? Indeed, I have my ID and everything, you see. Ah, yes, this looks to be an order. Very well, then. My name is Douglas, and what can I do for you? I need help with one of my classes. I'm very stupid. It is a subject I am familiar with. I am more than happy to help you. Do you know anything about chemicals? Not much more than the next fellow. Oh, if it's a subject I'm familiar with. Right, so you're not familiar with the subject. Right, she's more scientifically minded than us. Oh, is this Janet over here? She looks like she knows her way around, a tube or two. Hello, dear. Are you new here? Yes, indeed. My name is Janet. Please don't be alarmed by my visible mechanical insides. I'm in no pain. Well, that's good, but isn't the immobility something of an issue? Oh, I am perfectly mobile. I have wheels, and Robotronics department has provided me with some very nice telescopic arms. crying out loud, it's like Camp Detective Gadget. I'm just sitting down right now because the majority of students are on break, so I don't have any books that need shelving. Oh, okay. Do you know anything about chemicals, please? Mostly just the ones concerned with digestion. But I have been to visit the chemicals department before. I do wish I had been to visit the reading department, but never mind. Did you notice the bronze statue in the foyer? I did indeed. It is a life-size statue of Dr. Adams, the founder of our department. Not just life-size, but incredibly lifelike as well. Whoever sculpted it sure know a thing or two about bronze. Oh, well that didn't really help me, but never mind. I'm looking for a book. I don't know what book I'm looking for. Would you say it is an important and rare one, or an easily replaceable one? The former? Definitely. You want to ask Douglas about then. He keeps track of all the books that we actually care about. Oh, okay. I don't actually know if I am looking for a book, but we'll pretend for a moment that I am. I'm looking for a book, but this is going to sound dumb. I've been doing this job for years, and I assure you, whatever it is, I have heard dumber. Well, a university would be the place to hear some very dumb questions. I don't know the title of the book, or what it's about. All I know is that it's a hardcover and about yay big, and preferably an antique. Oh, yeah, the actual book that we came in looking for in the first place. I'd forgotten all about that. Well, something of that size and age will be in our stacks. All of the books out front here are ones that won't be mourned if an undergrad doodles in the margins or uses a slice of bolognese. I presume that's bolognese. Is that what bolognese is the singular of? I have nae apologies. Is there anything else I can help you with? I think you have been most helpful. Hello, friend. Hello. Douglas calls over to you. I'm afraid the stacks are off limits to undergraduates, faculty and alumni only. Oh, so that's why I have to pass my courses. Exactly. Once you have all 3 signatures on your course transcript, Ted will verify them and let you through. And I should warn you that not that I think you'd attempt to cheat or anything, but Ted is very good at spotting forgeries and has a lot of pent-up anger and frustrations. Ted clenches and unclenches his fist while watching you. I seem to remember him doing that before as well. Okay, can I read any books? Are there any books about chemistry? She wasn't a lot of help in terms of helping me figure out what I need to do. What is this? It is a directory of all current and past SIT faculty. Look somebody up. I should look up... what was the name of the goblin guy? I can't remember his name. Let's just look up me, see if we can find me. Yes. There's no entry for me. It doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I'm a rather forgettable type. Never mind. You didn't know anything. You can't tell me anything else about the chemistry, can you? No. No. Anything about astronomy? Douglas does a bit of stargazing. You might ask him. He can see both sides of the sky at once. Can you imagine? I think I'll get a headache if I try to imagine that. Indeed, I do find it quite interesting that I haven't noticed the fact that I think this fella has another fella on his other side. Do you know anything of astronomy? I have been known to dabble. The telescope on the roof of the SIT building has a beautiful view, but only shows half of the constellations. Half? Oh, of course. It seems that way to you because you have only one face. What? You've been seeing the western hemisphere of the sky. You need to see the southern hemisphere as well. Hang on a second. The sky doesn't have hemispheres, unless you're talking about the sky that you can see when you're on one side of the planet and the sky that you can see when you're on the other side of the planet. In which case, surely it depends what time of day it is. But never mind. How would I get hold of a second face? Merely reposition the telescope to point southward. Down, in other words. Down? But of course, you've seen maps before, surely. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I am horribly confused. Okay. Where did we go? I seem to remember it was on top of the scalar wing, perhaps, or maybe on top of the chemicals lab, I can't remember. You decided to take a shortcut between 2 of the university buildings. It is a little dark and spooky, but nothing to be scared of, really. That is, until you hear a manhole cover scraping open, and turn to see a fisherman glaring at you as it starts to climb out. Oh. Somebody has decided to use some of their marginally less intelligent brethren in order to attempt to murder me. Where is my delicious saxophone of violence, which can induce dance in the most villainous of fish-faced fellows? That is a very strange death animation. Don't you canter towards me and smack me with a fish like a Roman in a story. Let us shoot this one in the face. Throw a slimy oyster. Why are they all so revolting? Ew. Excellent. You've got an item slapping a trout. Reminds me of that ridiculous adjective to describe comedy, thigh slapping. Oh dear, you won, and the open manhole is a very convenient place to hide the bodies. Indeed, with some oysters. Those will come in handy, I suppose. Right then, shall we see if we can get our way back onto the roof? Was it up the roof of the spider wing? I cannot remember. There was a roof access somewhere. Here we are. Let me see what I can do with this. Can I move it? Point it downward. This is ridiculous. But apparently we're going to do this anyway. Okay, right. It was several weeks ago, so I have no, I have not maintained the piece of paper that I had before, but it's alright, I have some more paper here. So, here we have little 3D cube. So I'm going to have to make a list of all of the constellations that I find. That's some sort of spider creature. So that I can then figure out which ones are the false ones. This could be anything. This could be a hot dog. This could be a turd. This could be somebody's severed thigh which they were slapping. There's honestly no way to know. Here is a spiral. Here is what I presume is some form of tennis racket. I mean, I presume so. I mean, there is something else I can think of it being in terms of leading back to what we were describing here, if you went to the other side of the hips. But we shan't get into that. I shall just forget how to spell the word racket. Anything else? There's a little man who is possibly upside down or possibly the right way up, depending on the fact that this telescope might already be the wrong way up. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Let's get out of this thing for a moment and turn this the other way up again and have another go at this. Alright, here we have our 3 fish, or our 3 little falling nuclear weapons. What do we have up here? Here we have a little jukebox shaped thing. It's going to be really difficult for me to actually figure out what these things are supposed to look like from my bizarre little descriptions of them. What else do we have here? Oh, I remember that. There was like a stick of dynamite or something? I can't remember. This is really testing my ability to spell. Here we have some little Tholian creature. Alright, you can forgive me for not being able to spell the word Tholian. And here we have a little gun. Okay, is that all of them? I reckon it might be. Other than our little map of the east of England here. Alrighty then. There wasn't anything that I could do with the pigeons, was there? I do not believe so, no. Okay then, we need to return to the astronomy classroom, but I don't know quite where that is. Might that be over here somewhere? I have no idea what this is. This is taking me back here. Good, this is what I wanted, definitely. Is it through here? Here we are, astronomy, excellent. Okay then, so we need to identify which ones are false. So Texas is false. And the beer mug is false, or the house. I thought there were only 2 false ones. So all the others are true. Was it 2 or 3 that were false? I forgot what I was supposed to do several weeks ago. Then mark the 3 constellations that don't actually exist. Okay, it's fine, I just misremembered, okay. So Texas is a big lie. What's with that bizarre conspiracy theory I heard that was going around some years ago about Australia not existing? It's absolutely bizarre the things people come up with these days. Never mind. The idea of home ownership is false. The idea that alcohol is useful for making you feel better about your lack of home ownership is false. And the whole idea of Texas is an absolute falsitude. I'm ready for you to mark my work. Just have a look. He turns around and scans the blackboard. Well done. You're quadrupes, clearly. I wish I had the faintest idea what you were talking about, but never mind. Allow me to sign your manuscript. Thank you for being very kind and helpful to me. Okay, so, are you ready to take my full astrology course? I can sense the pickle rising in you. I'm terribly sorry. There was some drawings on the side of the blackboard left by some immature students, and they caught me off guard. And just give it a minute; it will deal with itself. Goodbye. I suppose we need to go back to chemistry. She did mention the statue. Maybe there's more to the statue than I realised. Maybe I can interact with it now. You wander into a science lab and see that someone has left some small experimental magical reactor running unattended. Maybe they realised it was in the process of explosively overloading and ran away. Like I ran away from my inability to speak. Let's have a look at it, I guess. You inspect the reactor carefully and discover the problem. It is being powered by electrically overcharged will-o'-the-wisps, and the field that keeps them contained isn't running on full power due to some faulty soldering in the control circuits, and also some hiccups. If it seems improbable to you that you would know enough about this stuff to figure it out, just assume it was written in a notebook left by somebody on the table. That's convenient. I'm going to fail miserably to do this because I haven't got the faintest idea what I'm doing. Still, in your desperate fiddling with the device, you manage to open it and release the irradiated wisps that were inside. This is bad, but it's better than the reactor exploding and blowing up half of the building. Better for everybody apart from you, however, who are about to get your face. Who are you? Who are these random people that are standing up to help? I'm not complaining, but I'm confused. A friendly mobster. Okay, so is this like due to the mob jobs? The mob jobs, there's a phrase I've never heard it before. Due to the mob jobs that I've done? Again, mob job sounds a bit like an innuendo, but never mind. A sinister vapor for Christ. You don't need a gun, you need an air conditioning unit to solve this problem. Oh, just shoot them. There we are, all done. Okay. Sinister persiperate. This is part of the problem. Yes, these big words that I don't understand, they are indeed an inordinate problem for my face. Is there anything I can do here? No. There must be a way of doing this. There must be more to it than a case of just random experimentation. The chrome, yes. Over an experiment there to thinking out how to doing it with. If only I had the faintest idea what you were talking about. The answer to that is no. There's nothing in here about chrome, is there? No, there's just some screwy lettering that I don't understand. There's nothing on any of these desks or anything I could get. Any lecture notes that have been left behind by some studious but forgetful fellow? Presumably the answer to that question is no. Alright. I still have no idea how to do that. Okay, never mind that for the time being. We have... Yes, we need to get into the restricted area, which means we need to become an alumnus. And we are still screwed regarding the library. Other than that, we need to find some barbecue sauce. I have no idea where to do that. We need to find additional cheese. I have no idea where to do that. And we need to get into the sewers of Ocean City. Perhaps we should head back to Ocean City for a while then and see if there are any other manhole covers with which we could we could access. Let's go a wandering and see what we find. We have found a fight. You turn around a corner and encounter a very weird sight, and yes, I'm aware that your tolerance for things being weird is already pretty high at this point. Yes, that is the understatement of the day. There are 3 shadows here, this time in the shape of little people. They seem to be grovelling and praying and twitching before a 4th little shadowy figure, which is basically the same except it has horns and little pitchforks like a cartoon devil. Is this meant to be some sort of shadow mimicry and or mockery of human religions? Maybe I am overthinking this. Maybe we should just shoot them in the face. Oh. They look vaguely vicious and deadly. Shadow homunculus. I have ne'er baldies what a homunculus is, but it is a word that is nice to say. stop dancing, and also please don't stab anybody with your little prick. Alright, let's shoot you in the face. You're the can't take more than 5 physical damage any given time. I really kind of wish that I had an ability like that, because it sounds pretty cool and useful. Oh, I really hope he died. Oh gosh. Okay, now at least. Oh gosh. I can increase my moxie by 5 for all the freaking good it would do me. Oh yeah, my piano crash. I can't get enough of that. Didn't I have a healing ability? Didn't I get a healing ability recently? I thought I got something like that. Presumably not. Do I have any items? I have a starfish. I could splort a starfish. So is it the problem that I'm doing physical damage? I'm not doing some sort of special type of damage. Let's test that by trying to kill you with a starfish. Yeah, that worked. That worked rather effectively. I've nothing to heal myself with, which is a bit of a pickle, because I'm very likely to die in a minute, but never mind. I guess I could crush you with a piano. I do kind of want to crush you with a piano, but that would do slightly more damage, for all the good it would do. In fact, actually, if I strike out the band first, and then I crush you with a piano, then he'll die. It's so musical, I love it. Okay, now, so long as, there we are, so long as she can kill him before the bleeding effect happens, I should be fine. You won. There'll be no incomprehensible maybe satire on your watch. Indeed. Okay then, let's go back to Ocean City, and let's see if I can find any manhole covers anywhere that I could use to access the Fishman world and see if I can obtain some of their eggs. You'd think I would have dragged some eggs out of the bodies of the fellows I murdered a ways back, but apparently not. Okay, I can't find anything here. I'm not entirely sure where to actually go. So, oh, not you again. Would you kindly stop shoving meat down my face, you dirty old man? Give me a minute. I am going to basically wander around the entire map frantically with no possible idea of what it is I'm doing. Oh, not you and your glockenspiels again. Some form of traditional folk dance involves lots of skipping and hopping and turning around in a square with precise timings. They aren't paying much attention to you or to anything else, really. What happens if I join in? It does look kind of fun, but you definitely don't know the steps, and it would only cause total chaos. It would be simpler simply to attack them, since a brawl would probably result anyway. No, it seems a bit mean to kill people without them attempting to kill me first. But yes, give me a moment. I am going to wander around all the wrong places and see if I can find access to the what? Give them a music lesson. See if I can find access to the Fishman world, but we may occasionally come back for the doing of things like this. Long before you actually turn the corner, you hear 2 glockens playing their high-pitched, plinkery glockenspiels extremely loudly. By the time you actually get up there, you're not totally deaf, but you do wish that you were. Man, can you guys tone it down a bit? Tone it down, you say? What about if we tone it up a bit? They start playing even louder. It looks as if somebody loaded a Tommy gun with pixie dust and shot you right through the ears. Ouch. I'm going to give them some lessons in doing things better, because I am friendly and educational rather than murderous. Look, friends, you're going about this all wrong. Do you know anything about modern music? What's important is the notes that you don't play. What? What you mean? The notes we not? I can see that you have a lot to learn. You better start by practicing not playing any notes at all. Then once you get really good at that, you can focus on learning which specific notes not to play. I see this modern music is a tricky business. The goblins stare at their glockenspiels, carefully not playing them. As you leave, you hear one accidental plink followed by an urgent shushing and apologizing. That is excellent. So, give me a moment, I shall see what I can find. Oh. Okay, so we're at the Tin Lizzie chop shop, and I was just walking past this locked car, and apparently we can use the wire coat hanger in order to open the lock. And we have a glove compartment which is full of meat! Oh, brilliant. Okay, well, at least we found some use for that, which is nice, I suppose. Molly notices some tin cans scattered in an alleyway and stops to stack them into a pyramid. Let's do some bean shooting practice. Every little bit helps anyway, and my trigger finger's getting itchy. Seems like we maybe shouldn't be shooting guns in the middle of the city. Oh, baloney. It is more words that I don't recognise again. But never mind, to be honest, I've been more worried about the cost of the ammunition that we'd have to replace. There are lots of new friends that have arrived here since the last time that we have been here. Are there any new people that I might communicate with and not scare them? I seem to remember I needed to commune with the. Oh goodness, everyone's getting into the swing of it here. I needed to commune with the king as well, and bamboozle him into doing something. I can't remember what it was. We shall see what we can do. Hello again. Nice hat. Thank you so much for helping me. I didn't even get your name. I'm Calendula Crabtree. What a name. I'm afraid I can't pay you back yet. We don't really have anything to make decent booze out of. At the moment, I'm just using random kitchen scraps and weeds, so I can't serve you that in good conscience or good ethics. Can you teach me any code? Indeed. Here are some booze-related glyphs. These are the most useful ones. That seems very, very fitting. What did you have to say? Nothing at all. Or rather, very little, whilst I said nothing at all. There was you. I remember you. I was just wondering whether any of those symbols might possibly line up with what we were seeing on the blackboard in the chemistry room, but I don't believe that that is true. Alright, am I ready to bamboozleize you yet? What? You get to a lot of places. I do indeed. Do you think you might be in the vicinity of the Seaside Institute of Technology anymore? I have a small delivery I need to make. I could probably help you out with that. I've received word that a hobo out there has come into the possession of a number of old dorm room beds, and we could certainly make use of them. Could you locate the man and give him this invitation? A royal summons. What does this entail? The Hobo King gave you this and bade you to deliver it to Ovid Lobdell. If you see him, he's usually somewhere on the campus. I remember him well. Can you teach me code? Bamboozle and 3 Moxie, indeed. I think I've succeeded in this? According to the Hobo Code, I am, of course, obligated to assist. But first, let me test you, convince me of your worthiness, and I'll grant you a boon. You know, to be honest, it doesn't matter. I already know all of the Hobo Code. In fact, I should be testing you. Oh. Really? I've maximised my skill? Okay. Okay, Hotshot, go ahead. What is the symbol for a public bathroom? Ah, that is a simple one. It's a, hey, you can't scam me that easy. You're trying to get me to tell you it's a rectangle with a crescent moon in it so you could pretend you knew all along. Ah, shucks, you got me. I guess you better ask me instead. So what is the symbol for a public bathroom? Is it a rectangle with a crescent moon? No, you got it right. Okay, I guess you won't. So I haven't learned all the code? Okay, fair enough. King Johnny takes out a small notebook and writes a glyph on it and hands you the page. This is the Hobo Code for boom. It's one of my favourite jokes. I wish I got to use it more often. Very, very frickin' funny. Right then, we haven't succeeded yet, but I'll keep looking for the match. Yeah, you can have a match if you want. He tips his hat to you. Thank you! This will be just the thing I need to ensure that something will be on fire at some point in the future. That's entirely true, but also entirely worrying. Yes, give me another minute. If I can't find any way to access the fish world, then we will go and see about acquiring some beds. I mean, why wouldn't I? What could possibly go wrong? Nothing? Okay, I'm surprised. I would have expected to at least have been haunted and more likely had my feet fall off. Or some other form of curse. Alright, that was surprisingly not disastrous. Hooray, I think we found a way inside. Let us go deeper and see what we can find. Oh, I don't like this. There is homo code on this brick. It says, emergency ring behind this brick. You pull out the brick, and sure enough, there is a ring behind it. The inside-out ring. What the hell is this? When you put this ring on, you're technically the only person not wearing it. I guess that is kind of true of an inside-out ring, but that's a rather strange concept. Everybody but you loses one of each stat at the start of combat. Does that include my companion? Because that wouldn't be very good. But good evening, gentlemen. You've any eggs I could borrow? This fisherman is neither capable nor interested in talking to you. Really, some of them seem to be capable. This fisherman is the scaly, silent type. Indeed, may I speak to the bartender? You don't seem able to get the bartender's attention. I mean, there's a bottle right next to me. I'm sure I could smack it over his head to get his attention. You, not him. This one. No, this one, for goodness sake. He came here to drink, not to talk to you. I didn't think... I presume that fish do consume water. Presumably, fish consume water. I know they consume air through their gills, but presumably they also consume water through their mouths for the sake of, like, hydrating themselves. Either a fishy-looking guy or a guy-looking fishy. Probably both. Either way, it seems like he's getting an angry drunk on. May I engage in parlance with he? What is up? Who are you? He takes a couple of fishman eggs out of his pockets and lobs them at the bartender. Give me another round. Oh, they seem to be a currency? Curious. The bartender shoots him some side-eye, although technically fishermen are always doing that, and brings over another bottle of you don't want to know what it is, frankly. Ask him about his weird head. You pause, trying to think of a more diplomatic way to phrase that. I couldn't help noticing. I ain't gonna take that from the likes of you. You and what army? The Glub. Which isn't. I don't think you'll find that in the Oxford English Dictionary. I ain't gonna take nothing from nobody. Yeah, you tell him, buddy. I'm on your side. And another thing, nothing thing. Indeed, that's right, I said it. Hey, bartender, bring over one for my friend here. He pitches another couple of eggs at the bartender, who reluctantly brings you a 40-ounce bottle and a foul-looking mug. Is that brine? I might be able to manage that if I fiddle with my stats for a minute. What's my current muscle? My current muscle is 4. Is there a perk that I could get? I've probably got enough XP in order to get one. What could I get for my muscle? I could get that, or I could get this. I can't afford that, though. Excellent 5. Thick calluses. You can play all day without making your fingers bleed, even if you're playing an instrument that doesn't use them. Well, quite. Right, I am ready to engage in the brine drinking with you, friend. Ask him about his bonds. And then pretend to be on his side about it, and then have a good old drink. Oh no, despite this being an obviously terrible idea, you manage to down 2.5 pints of the raw salt water before throwing up. You immediately have a splitting headache, and your drinking buddy laughs at your pained expression. Oh dear. How much? You stagger away from the table and out of the door. Fortunately, you're already in a sewer, so it don't much matter where you throw up. Oh, for goodness sake. You haven't beaten me yet! But give me a minute, I'll find it later. A barrel of olives. Fancy Dan would love this, if you could manage to sneak it out of here. Okay, that wasn't as useful as I was hoping. How much could I increase my muscle by? Is there any foods that I have? That could increase my muscle by 1. Anything else? Alright, let's drink the Shadow Elixir, because that isn't in the slightest bit dangerous. Let's drink that. There we are. You drink the elixir, it fills up all the gaps in your muscles and veins. It fills them with nothingness, but they're still filled. If a room is filled with nothingness, is it empty or is it full? A philosophical question for the ages that certainly I'm not intelligent enough to solve. Alright, and then if we eat this as well, which is my Swiss cheese stuff, indeed. Your shadow taint level increase. Don't ever, 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 ever say that to me ever again. You consume the shadow hot dog, which is both inside and outside the bun. The shadow is now inside of you as well as outside. Excellent. What about any of these? Can any of these give me more muscle? Various types of armor, which I suppose is to be expected. What else? Alright, I've got it up to 8, which I think is about as far as I can get it on, mainly by putting this weird choker on, which I'm still not convinced that would actually make you stronger, but maybe it will prevent me from throwing up. Maybe like a valve and let stuff go down, but not up. Okay, let's see if 8 is enough. Probably not. Let's drink it. And then drink some more. You choke down another giant bottle of seawater. Despite the volume of liquid sloshing around inside you already, your mouth feels entirely dry and you're thirstier than you've ever been in your life. Someone is practicing jazz drum solos very nearby, possibly inside your skull. Not bad, friend. I got a head start on you. One more. Keep going. Yay! I feel like I'm gonna throw up in a second. I mean, literally, the real one, not just the video game one. You can literally feel your internal organs turning into jerky. The edges of your vision are going black. You manage to stay upright just long enough to see the fish guy's head hit the table, and then you rifle through his pockets and stagger out the door with your mug still desperately clutched in one hand. Once you're done throwing up, you take a little nap. Oh, good. Is that enough? Or not? A nasty mug. The stains on the outside of this mug are almost as nasty as the stains on the inside of a toilet. Is that enough? Or not? Do I need more? I do not know. Let me put whatever it was on that I had before on. I can't remember. I have no idea. Let's put that on, I suppose. Let's put the glockenspiel on for no particularly good reason for the increased melee weapons. I mean, ranged weapons. Do I have enough now? Rufus wants to collect £3. Does that mean I need 3 amounts of it? I don't know. I could return and see if he's happy with what I've got already, or whether not another pickle. I thought I just dealt with the previous pickle, but never mind. I always end up in a pickle playing this game. Let me just check that I can't find any other access points within Ocean City, and then we will. Then I'll go back to Rufus and see if the £1 is enough for him or not. The paperclip salesman from earlier does another double take when he sees you. How are your documents, Jack? Not flimming loose. I hope he offers to sell you a paperclip. I suppose I've got plenty of meat. I don't know why. Do I detect a change in humidity? I am climbing the ladder. Good for you. Oh yeah, I always forget this isn't a place. This is a person. Never mind. It doesn't matter. What? You take a wrong turn into an underground coffee house just as a thinly mustachioed man demands any decent person to defend the formal vulgarity of Joyce's Ulysses. I'm going to pretend I've got the face that I what you're talking about and carry on. Moved to tears, the man kisses you on both cheeks, leaving wet moustache hairs on your cheek. Ew. That is absolutely, categorically disgusting. Alright. Now what? You hear a banging noise and a hissing coming from the mouth of a nearby alleyway and hesitantly check it out. It's probably fine. It's probably just one of those times where a cat jumps out at you and runs away, right? Unfortunately, what jumps out at you is 2 of the spooky shadow imps that you saw at SIT before. They hiss and cackle at you and do unpleasant dances. Mental note, stop checking out noises in dark alleys. You are telling me, don't you dare try to bonk me, mate. I'm not into none of that. Alright, I couldn't find anywhere else with it. Oh, for goodness sake. I couldn't find anywhere else within Ocean City in order to go down into the sewers, so I guess we'll go back to Rufus' lab. A loud crashing noise and yelling from a nearby classroom attracts your attention and curiosity. You cautiously poke your head into the door and then poke it back out again to dodge a several handful of bolts thrown by an angry robot. Several students are cowering behind overturned desks, and you crawl back there to join them as 2 robots wildly throw junk everywhere. What on earth is going on here? We were wondering if the robots could be programmed to have a sense of team spirit, so we split into 2 teams and made these tennis ball throwing robots, and then set them to dislike each other. It seems to have worked rather successfully. Bleepity bloopity, goodness knows what this says. A little too well. We should have taught them some sportsmanship first. Maybe I should sneak around and deactivate them. The students explain where the robot shut-off switches are, and you duck, dodge, and dive through a storm of hurled debris. Eventually manage to shut them down, with only minor bruises. Thanks a lot. I guess it's back to the drawing board. Maybe just stick to your drawings, mate, and give up with this craziness. Do I have enough eggs? I'm still on the lookout for eggs. Oh no. There were no other access ports, and by access ports I mean manhole covers, down here, were they? That seems like the sort of place where we might find one. Here is one! Let's just go down and see what we find. This isn't the place where we were before, was it? A wise person said that fishing is not a good use of time, but that person probably didn't have as much spare time as you do, or as many bizarre fishing rods to use them with. A shadow clarinet. Because why not? Actually, it might be an oboe. It's hard to tell. The endless void pouring out into our world through its empty silhouette reduces all of enemies' stats by 13. That sounds amazing. Oh, that's a single-use thing. Oh, I thought this was an offhand thing. I do sincerely apologise. I'm talking rubbish. This shouldn't really surprise me at this point. You know, I mean, come on. Get with the trend, people. And a shadow pickle, of course, because the first one wasn't enough. And some fish in a sack. Oh, good. Okay, can we go in here? Have I been here before in the sauna? Okay, right. I need to get some eggs from you people. This fisherman is absolutely loving his bath in hot filth. Good for him. I'm so glad I haven't been invited to join them. This fisherman is doing his best impression of a crocodile. These 2 fishermen are sharing a nasty soak. They are too relaxed to worry about you being here. There's no fisherman in this particular pool of boiling goo, but there is a mass of horrible, swirling, wriggling, goofball-sized eggs floating in it. Looks like the world's biggest and most awful glass of bubble tea. Grab them with hot armour. I reckon I can probably manage that. I seem to remember I have some welding gloves. That would give me 1. Do I have any hot armour to begin with? I have 3! This is excellent. It's going to make my life a dozen times easier. Let me see. Let me put on, if I can remember where I left the accursed things. There we are. Let me put them on, and then see if I can find anything else that will give me the last point. Here we are, the welding mask. That should do. So now I've got my welding gloves and my welding mask on. Excellent! I reckon we're about ready to grab this thing. Indeed! You extract the jiggly, squishing, foul-smelling eggs. Oh, goodness. That's so unpleasant I can't even make a joke about jiggle physics. Alright, never mind any of that. Just put I don't know, don't put that on, but, yeah, that'll do just fine. Let's put that on right now. Because I seem to suck at all the fights at the minute, so having a bit more health might be useful. This radio is playing some classy music, indeed, and I think I recognise it, but I can't for the life of me remember what it's called. But never mind. We only need to find 1 more manhole cover, and then we can, there's probably not going to be another one down here now that I think about it. Then we will have enough for the beginning of Rufus's very bizarre plan. You wander through a doorway marked, we've already done, oh for goodness. Give me a minute. I shall battle with some congruence and irrational numbers. You congruent cad! I should probably sell all these calculators. I've got enough to equip a whole GCSE class at this rate. Friend, I have royal summonses to give you. The Hobo King requests your presence. I'm sorry, what? There's a hobo camp outside of Ocean City, and the guy who's in charge of it has such rich in beds. He asked me to give you this official summons. Oh, this sounds like a good deal. Can't use more than 1 or 2 of these myself. I shall head out there immediately. Thanks, friend. Okay, can I climb up this by any chance? Someone doesn't understand how fences work. To be honest, fences and ladders are strangely similar. But never mind. Can I steal any of his things now that he's gone? Presumably not. No. Alright then, there must be an... Am I going crazy, or did everything like flash black there for a second? Well, I've got my eye on you, game. I thought that only happened in the Crystal Drift Valley place, but seemingly not. Let me wander around for a little bit longer, see if I can find any manhole covers around the campus. Out on the quad, you encounter two goblin cheerleaders who were cheering on a goblin wearing a baseball uniform, despite the fact that the baseballer doesn't seem to be doing anything cheer-worthy or even noteworthy, and probably not even baseball-related. B-A-S-E-B-A-L-L. What does it spell? Baseball. Yes, hooray! We have got it right that time. Let us spell another one. Good, yes. What is it to spell? They look at you again. Volcanusinia Philippiflicasian. Reminds me of that bit in Blackadder where he tries to come up with all those ridiculous words for the dictionary. Oh, that is a good one. Now that they are distracted, and frankly so am I, that we can leave. Oh, whoa, what? A wooden statue with a metal hound. I remember that. 9 muscle. I probably could have done that before I changed all my things. Muscle 7. Let me see what I can do, I suppose. I can get it to 8. I don't think I can manage it, you know. Because my food and potions are already giving me muscle, and I haven't got anything that'll give me 2 muscle, so unless I can find like a hat that gives me muscle or something, I don't think there's anything I can really do. Oh well, never mind. I think there's anything here that would give me 2 muscle, is there? No, just the 1. Alright, oh yeah, I remember the stuff. I'd forgotten about filling in that around. Never mind. What? Your progress from wherever you started to wherever you're going is being interrupted, so is the fact that I wanted to do a jump cut, but never mind. When the 3 robots appear and move to block your path. Human intercepted! Human We require information. What do you want to know? Query equals why do we exist? Ah, that easy one. Sarcasm detected. Why are you asking me? Why don't you go and ask your creator? I didn't build you, why not ask the students who built you? Reply equals when we approach them. Sound volume equals loud, and movement equals... movement direction equals opposite, and speed equals fast. Well, I guess if the baking soda volcano I made in 8th grade started asking me existential questions, I'd be a little unnerved too. Who cares for purpose? Didn't bamboozleize you. Who cares for purpose? Heck, buddy, there's no such thing. Nihilism detected. I have nailed is what that is, but it doesn't matter. Well, in a sense, I guess. But look, the meaning of life is whatever you want it to be. You've got to find your own purpose. You get me? Evaluation equals helpfulness equals low. I wish I could speak to people like that. It would make my life so much easier. Alright, fine. Have it your way. Your purpose is to give me meat. A little slot opens in the robot's chest and some meat falls out. Well, that was easy. Ay. Maybe somewhere within one of the... Bucko, over here. What is it you wish to flap your jewels about? Molly seems to be practicing some kind of dance with a lot of quick movements and hopping around. You working on your dance moves? Kinda, except this dance ain't about cutting a rug. She makes a sharp gesture and the blade of her flick knife snaps open. It's about cutting, you know, an enemy of some sort. Oh good, she acts earlier in combat. Well, whoop-de frickin' doodle. That don't really help me though, because I cannot find a, I cannot find where I need to go. Let's get me onto the roof, which is kind of the opposite direction to where I want to go. There's got to be another manhole cover somewhere. I am really befuddled. I'm utterly befuddled and I've now got no idea how long we've been going. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Oh dear, I really have no idea where to go. Never mind. What am I going to do? I guess I'm going to wrestle with the chemicals thing for a while. Right, it seems the trial and error is, you know, isn't enough. It's not to waste a hell of a lot of time, but it's not enough for anything else. So, it would seem that the third and fourth ones are empty and that they need to be filled with other things. So, it would seem that we have this book here, which are made of velium, and what I completely didn't realise is that you can make something here which sorts that out. So if I go second hopper, first hopper, second hopper, I get velium softening solution, which I'm going to... Oh, maybe you can use it to fix the old book. Maybe if I'd actually been reading, then I would have seen what it's doing. Okay. So now, I can use the softener to make the book easier to read. You carefully drizzle the velium softener on the book, rendering its pages as soft and supple as the day they were born, or rather bound. Someone should bookmark a list of alchemic symbols and the various substances they represent. The third hopper is supposed to contain arsenic, it turns out. You can't find the fourth symbol in here anywhere, though. I really shouldn't be looking for arsenic, it's only incredibly poisonous. Any idea where I might find somewhere anywhere? Are we out of having arsenic? The entire hopper is empty. That not to doing. Professor Gilbert will of our records to checking a moment. They pull out a binder labelled very poisonous log and flip through it. Aha, it is that Cratchills again. The who? Belvin Cratchills, a student, very much arsenic fan of some reason. Maybe if he any left is to having, you are to going and to asking. His address is here at Hilbert House, room 3A. Hilbert House? Where is that? It will better if Professor Gilbert just do marking on your map, for your communication is frankly so confusing that I barely understand a word that you're saying, because it takes up 90% of my brain trying to figure out what it is you're saying, let alone what the hell you mean. Never mind. Right, that took far longer than I have any right to admit to. Some frustrated glulch. I feel thoroughly frustrated and feel like saying a word that sounds a bit like glulch, but never mind. Okay, there are still these strange street lamps here. Let us go into Hilbert House and see what we can find. Okay, so presumably where's the stairs? Where are the stairs? I need to reach the second floor. It was 3A, wasn't it? Oh goodness, there are some ruffians in here that probably need to have a bit of a fight. Indeed, some Glockens are having a party, and you haven't been informed. Why have you moved up to the front of the fight? Oh, this is because of that upgrade that you got in a random encounter, which allowed you to act earlier. So, does the sort of lining of the enemy, or lining of the people imply who's going to act first? Like it's going to be me, then, or it's going to be her, then me, then you? Perhaps. One doesn't know. Let's shoot some people and get on with life. That hurt. Why are you behaving like a football player? I have also just realised that somebody's about to wallop this poor woman in the face. Perhaps I ought to do a bit of violence. One can never have too much violence, and that is why I'm going to crush somebody with a piano. Because I cannot get enough of that, no matter how long I live. Who is going to hit Molly? You are, so I'm going to shoot you in the face. You are most naughty. Stop making that squishy noise. It's disturbing. Right then. Now that they're all dead, we have a sports drink and a binder clip, which is a combat item and increases your stench armor by 5. That seems quite pertinent. These are designed to hold sheaves of important grown-up documents together, but I'm sure you'll come up with some other dumb way to use it. Yep, I'm going to stick it on my nose so I can't smell smelly things. This revoltingly sour fluid is the product of decades of tireless work by SIT's sweat professors. Oh, lovely. Reminds me of ancient Roman gladiators who used to have their blood bottled as they believed it was some form of potion for doing something silly. And there was no reason for me to come into this room, was there? You just wanted me to come in here and murder some folks. Alright, what do we have in the other rooms? Some surprisingly happy and jaunty music. All of the drawers in this desk are missing apart from one which has been jammed shut. Force it open with my great strength. So we have a battery, which again we can shove a bomb in the middle of a fight in order to make things better, and a comfy hat lining, which I think my current house has already been sorted out. What does this say? It is a poster. College kids sure have interesting taste in art. Lamp End House. I have no idea what you're talking about, but never mind. I've now rolled up poster, and I put this on my wall. Indeed, I can. For reasons I don't understand. The comforter on this bed is printed with discomforting arcane glyphs. What's my current mysticality? It is a mere 3. Could I get a perk that might boost that a little? I could get that. Why not? I can think of no reason why not. And then I need to find some item or another which is going to increase my mysticality. I must have something that can do that. I must have something. Here we are with some cufflinks. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but never mind. Let us read it. Turned out to be laundry instructions, and you learn about how to wash this particular comforter. Oh, great! I spent 75 XP to get 15 back. Brilliant. There's a wallet stuck behind the nightstand. It's hard to reach without moving the nightstand, which you refuse to do for some reason. But... Alright, fine. Maybe there is some meat left in this old meat-carrying device. You rifle through the wallet and there is nothing interested in it. There's nothing interesting in it unless you're interested in meat. Goodness knows I am. Alright then. This has been an interesting event thus far. Oh. There's some bizarre and reason which is beyond my comprehension. I thought that was the door I'd originally come in by. It wasn't, and it doesn't matter. Here is a poster. I'll have this one as well. My walls are going to be covered by the end of this. There's a little safe here. A mini fridge. I sincerely apologise. I made a muddle. A bottle of durian soda. It seems that soda manufacturers have not yet discovered that exotic and good are two different adjectives. Ah. Never mind. This desk was a dining room table in a former life. I feel like it's a bit of a stretch to say that furniture gets reincarnated. Although I guess you could say that sort of recycling is a bit like reincarnation, isn't it? In the sense that it gets like broken down into its constituent parts and then rebuilt into something else. So maybe actually it's less of a stretch to say that the furniture gets reincarnated. Goodness nobody knows. This sink has been dripping for so long that a stalagmite has formed, which gives me some impenetrable shellac. Yes, some shellac comes from insects, but you don't know... But if you don't know that, it can basically... I'm having severe difficulty reading today, and I have no idea why. This bed is made for sideways sleepers. As opposed to people who sleep upside down, Okay, oh, kids, yeah. There's some very scary looking people in here. There's somebody who hasn't quite understood how to do press-ups. Somebody here who looks a bit like me if he'd just seen the most traumatizing thing in the world. And someone who looks like he's come out of a cartoon. Let us engage in a scuffle. It's kind of good that Molly goes first, actually, because that gives her a little opportunity to sort of weaken everybody a little bit, which then means that I can use my slightly stronger attacks in order to actually finish them off. No, not like that. Can I drop a piano on somebody? I love dropping pianos on people. I think it would actually be better to drop pianos on people at the beginning of the fight rather than using it as the killing move. But there's something... That was weird. There's something oddly satisfying about killing somebody by dropping a piano on them. Particularly in a ridiculous cartoon game. I don't know where I'm getting all these pianos from, but an SIT barometer necklace. Thanks to this, you'll never again suffer the agony of not knowing exactly what the ambient air pressure is. I suppose that's of some use. During the Cola Wars, there were posters all about the place warning our servicemen about the dangers of the Devil's Chicken. The Devil's Thigh is more looking at this, to be honest. Excellent! We're going to pretend like that was necessary and that coming in here actually served a purpose and wasn't a totally ridiculous waste of time. Alright then, let us continue into the next rooms. What was it? Which one was he on? Which one was he on? It does not say where it was. Doesn't say anything about the arsenic, does it? No. Oh well, he's somewhere here. We'll find him eventually. There seems to be a sunflower growing out of a guitar case here, which is a little strange, but never mind. There's some robots in here. I don't really think there's any point in going in or fighting these kids because it doesn't seem to achieve anything. It's just a really weird whistling going on here. Again with the cartoon vampires. This might be more accurately referred to as a sunk rather than a sink. Oh, that's cute. This student must have bought their own fancy bed from home. Can I have this as well? Yeah, okay. I don't know why I'm taking all of these with me. An eerie melody is playing from the radio. You're telling me, mate. Inside here we find a battery and a match. Good, that makes up for the one that I donated earlier. Alright, let's go into 2C. And we'll have this one as well, I suppose. I'm not running out of walls in this, right? The pillow is adhered to the bed with some substance you'd rather not identify. You gain a foo bar. Good, there's something under it. You'd hate to have gone through all of that for nothing. What is this? You're not sure if it's a type of food bar or if this is some sort of experimental snack that could turn out to be any other food. It increases the damage of your ranged weapon attacks by 4. That's quite good. It is not terrible. Time has stripped this nightstand of both beauty and contents. I feel like it was actually the ragamuffin student that did both of those things, but never mind. Giddy aunt. This desk has unfinished word find puzzle on it. I need an additional point of mysticality that I... Yes, I do. I might have something that can fix that, perhaps, potentially. Yes, I can put on some sea bitter pants. Still don't know what those are, but never mind. You find the last 2 words are experience and points! Hooray! I feel like I should have got 2, not 15, but I ain't complaining, so I'm just going to go and put my other pants back on, which have been jazzed up to such an unreasonable degree. It is unbelievable. A label on this armadillo-shaped cabinet reads cool rocks. See if any of them are actually cool. None of the rocks are cool, but one of them is very scary. I beg to differ that mist is not a rock, but never mind. Also, to describe that as armadillo-shaped is kind of stretching it. I mean, there are some similarities to an armadillo there, but it seems a bit of a stretch, but never mind. Otherwise, you could say the vast majority of things were armadillo-shaped, including cats. Never mind. 3A. Was this the one with the arsenic in it? Perhaps. This looks about right. Lots of chemicals. Almost all of it has been ruined. You open the fridge and find it was merely storing stale air. It does get very stale in a fridge, doesn't it? I have previously noticed that in the past. Indeed, here is the arsenic. Oh good, there's nearly a whole jar of arsenic left in Belvin's nightstand. At least you assume this is Belvin's room, and not some other chemical student who is super into arsenic for some reason. I would really hope that everybody and anybody is not into arsenic, because it's really, really dangerous stuff. Oh, for goodness sake. I need to get it up by 2 points. Would there be any foods or anything that would up my mysticality, perhaps? Moxie meat. I could eat a fairy cake. That wouldn't do me a lot of good, though, in terms of the other benefits, though. But I reckon it'd be my only option. Alright there, let's eat one of our many bits of salad. And put the funny pants back on. There we go. Let us read what we have here. I found it odd that I needed more mysticality to solve that one, given that the answer was the same as the last one, but never mind. Apparently, this Bear Army cot was too comfortable for this student's taste, because they were also using rocks for pillows. Oh, presumably they came from Markarth. Right. Oh, for goodness sake. I would have had the muscle if I hadn't just eaten the hot dog. There is something shiny in here, but a torrent of water is between you and the shine. Oh my giddy aunt. Alright, I must have, something that will counteract that fact. There we are. And you've got a drumstick ring. Do you mean drumstick as in the device used for hitting a drum in order to make noise, or do you mean the thing that a chicken calls its leg and we call delicious? With this, you'll always have an extra drumstick handy in case you accidentally toss one into the crowd trying to do a stupid twirling trick. Excellent. Excellent. Right then, let us check the other rooms in this place before we get the hell out of here. I suppose I'll have this one as well. Kitty, I'm gonna run out of things here. Oh, and again, man alive. I keep having to switch all my things around and it's driving me mad. Which of these was doing my, Here we are. Here we are. Again, we need more of that, but never mind. The books on this shelf are all about how to destroy bookshelves. Hilarious. Right, what's my moxie? My moxie is 6. I reckon that I had something else here that I could put on. Maybe those sunglasses, perhaps? There we go. And another wallet, with which we can press the wrong button, and then we can tear open the wallet and get a load of meat out of it. Indeed. Alright then, this is probably another combat run? Yes, with fish-faced fellas in it, which is a terrible shame. How many floors of this are there? This is getting ridiculous. Is this like the infinite corridor thing again, and this will just carry on forever? I'm beginning to think that it might. Yes, I am beginning to think that it might. Right, let's get the hell out of here. No, please, just take your ass and leave. I appreciate it took you a while to get down the stairs, but still, please move your ass. Okay, right. Oh good, we can deal with these dreadful physics equations again. Okay, this should give us the third chemical, and then we can use the third chemical in order to get us a step closer to what we need. So let me see if I can put the arsenic in. Okay then, so now is it just combinations of 1s, 2s and 3s? Oh, now I actually know what they are. Okay then, so because I really cannot be bothered, you have to forgive me, but I've already done trial and error for the first stage of this and I was so sick of it. So I need to make something with these 3 chemicals, which seems to be 3, 1, 3, 2. You decant the mixture into a vial and run some tests on the various samples on the workbench. It appears you've made a bronze 3-vivifying juice. This seems useful, but for what? I shall keep it, because this links in to what the dear Lady Janet was saying about this statue made of bronze. You splash the reviving on the statue, and gradually the metallic bronze colour turns to more regular flesh tones. Oh, and clothes, also clothes tones. Oh, good enough me, is it Monday already? It's Thursday, sir. A Thursday, 1928. Ah, daft it all. I knew I would have left the alarm. Do forgive me for not introducing myself. I am Dr. Ambrose Adams. Indeed, I read it upon the plaque. He steps down off his plinth and looks at it. Marvellous. How very kind of them. I'm a student here, and I didn't know the first thing about chemistry, but if you could help me, I would be inordinately grateful, because I've been doing this course forever, and I keep failing. A pleasure indeed. 1928, you say? That would make it, 205 years. So much for the faculty luncheon. Did you bronze yourself deliberately? Yes, quite so. My new formula required testing, you see. And as I had no plans of particular import for the weekend, I thought perhaps I would skip ahead a bit. A graduate student was instructed to awaken me. If he comes asking for a letter of recommendation, I shall have some rather stern words for him. At least I figured out how this quiffy F is supposed to be an S, but never mind. He's probably dead by now. Well, of course. Well then, I shall call that his just desserts. Anyway, welcome to the future. Or the present, I suppose. Or technically the past, depending on who we're referring to. Thank you, yes indeed. I find myself rather excited for the prospect, you know. Has anything good been invented? They're working on something called television. Apparently it's like moving pictures, except you have one in your own home. I must say that sounds ridiculous. Whoever heard of a moving picture? Yeah. Well, you've missed a lot. I suppose I'm in need of a guide. Might I accompany you? Oh. Okay. So now the professor can be my help. I don't really want the professor to help me, because if he makes my moustache look really small by comparison, but never mind. It's not about the size of your moustache, it's about what you do with your moustache, and goodness knows nobody does anything with their moustache because they're not exactly functional. In fact, there's something I think you might be able to help me with. Oh, pray tell, I have a chemicals assignment that's giving me some trouble. Are you familiar with all chemistry symbols? Ah, young man. Is a feline acquainted with its own... well... sheesh. Don't listen to him, Bib. Alrighty then. A Stradilidini Diambolic. Are these still in use in modern times? I would have thought the technology would be much more advanced now. The class I'm taking is pretty introductory. The professor said he was starting with the basics. Ah, I see. Well, this is quite reasonable then. What seems to be the trouble? The last hopper is empty and I don't know what's supposed to go now. The book in here doesn't list the symbol. Does it not? How embarrassing. Pray allow me to correct it. He pulls a quill pen and a small ink pot out of his pocket. A sort of a sealable ink pot? Because all the ones I've seen, the ink sort of falls out when you turn them over. Unless he's got pockets that specifically are designed for the holding of little ink pots. In which case, this is some very interestingly tailored trousers he's wearing. Are you quite sure you should be doing that? Why not? This is my book after all. Still in good condition, I am pleased to see. That is the advantage of proper vellum pages over paper, of course. And my colleagues made fun of me for being old-fashioned. Well, I don't see their shoddy paper books in this classroom. He bows gently as the ink on the ink. Oh, he blows gently on the ink to dry it. If only I could read. I can't even blame that on the squiffy Fs. And gestures grandly towards the book. There you are, duly corrected. Thanks, friend. So what is it? He has added a new entry indicating the last symbol stands for lithium. Okay, the fourth hopper is still empty. Do you have any lithium, friend? No, I might get some lithium other than the stuff that you maybe chuck in the sea. I mean the river. That is tricky for getting, but you knowing Professor Gilbert did to hearing about a soda company putting lithium in their sodas. Why would you do that? Sounds really dangerous. I don't know if lithium is poisonous or anything, but I don't think it's something you should be drinking. Lithium to making you thirsty, a feedback loop of very profit. Unfortunately, lithium also makes you very confused to making, and your bowels either none at all or way too much. The business they to going out of. Well, rats. But their factory in Ocean City is still where it is. Well, I didn't imagine it had grown legs and wandered off. Perhaps a quantity of lithium. There you are to finding. Oh, Relaxa-Cola. Ah, like laxatives. Funny. Let us go back to the bus stop. I didn't need to do that, did I? I could have clicked on the thing, but it doesn't matter. What attacks is the professor going to be able to do, I wonder? Perhaps he's going to be able to yell at them in very long sentences and make their heads ache. While exploring the halls of SIT, you happen upon a group of tough-looking goblins wearing backward ball caps, slouching around insolently and watching for nerds to harass. Given this is SIT, you think you'd probably be spoiled for choice, but apparently they have settled on you. Well, there is nobody else around here, and let's be honest, this isn't exactly the least nerdy face you've ever seen. Who are you, being a nerd? Who, me? A nerd? Yes, a book-reading weakling. You look like this is nerd action, not tough like a Jocklin, which is us. I agree. That's baloney. I am not a nerd, or I strongly object to being characterized as a nerd based solely on my appearance. The exchange looks definitely a nerd. Confirmed. They stand up and approach you, cracking their knuckles. What you doing? We are swirl your head in a toilet bowl. That is fate of nerd. Alright, for the who are we fighting? For the sake of finding out what the professor can do, I'm quite curious to actually get involved in a fight. He is surprisingly strong. Alright, let's bite you between the legs, which I think is going to be a more traumatic experience for the snake than it's going to be for the you, but never mind. I'm going to shoot you in the face. Because you're just rude and you extrapolate based upon very little evidence. What can you do? You can poison them for 6, or you can heal me for 7. That heal is quite good. There we go. But now you're going to heal yourself. Well, fiddlesticks. But it doesn't matter because I'm just going to shoot her in the face. You're going to be poisoned to high heaven, but there's probably a joke in there about stereotypical cheerleaders and diseases, but I ain't going to get into that because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know who I'd be getting in trouble with, but I don't know. A Jocklin strap. On earth is that? What a strapping young man, they'll say, unsure how else to react to you wearing a jock strap on the outside of your pants. I am not putting that on my pants. A, because I'm not doing melee damage, and B, because I'm not entirely sure what a jockstrap is, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with penises, and as such, I don't need any more of that than I've already got. So, let's return to Ocean City and go to the soda factory, get this lithium, and get this chemistry class sorted out so we can go into the library, go into the stacks room, get the book, and get the hell out of here, because frankly, we have been here for too long. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. You have a match on you. I can say no and lie. I can say I'm sorry, no, which is a double lie, because I'm not sorry, and I do have one. I can say no, but also yes. That's confusing with the paradox. Ah, well, thank you to all the same. Toodle-o. Toodle off. Not quite. Alright then, let's explore this factory and see what we can find. Can we go in the front door? Yes we can, that was surprisingly easy. This place is pretty abandoned, alright. All that's left is a metal storage cabinet and a few crates of empty soda bottles. Not even any bottle caps left. Phooey. Reminds me of going into the Sunset Sarsaparilla factory in New Vegas. This open crate is full of half-empty soda bottles, or rather half full. It is 2 cases of bottles left in it. Never mind, the grammar is confusing. This metal cabinet seems to be the only thing of substance left, probably because it's bolted to the floor and locked with a combination. Ah, this seems quite clever. It seems to be a pretty standard 4-digit combination. I suppose I'll crack it open with my muscular, moxilicious hands. It is a pretty cheap lock, so you solve it through the simple process of pulling it real hard while you spin the dial so you can feel when the mechanism inside is released on each digit. Oh, I thought we were literally just going to rip it off, but no. No, apparently we're not taking the approach of the Notebook Detective. Okay, well that was easier said than done. In fact, that was easier done than said, because goodness knows I'm finding it very difficult to speak today, and that was quite easy to do. So, let's return to the chemistry building. You have to click on the word, not the building, which really throws me off. Oh, for goodness sake, another one of these. Thank you, but please leave me alone. Stop throwing meat in my face. We were already talking about that with a strap. Okay, then. We now need to put in the lithium, and now we need to figure out how to make the chrome stuff. So you'll forgive me if again I look this up, because I don't want to spend all day faffing around with these combinations. Some chrome polishing juice. Excellent. This is what I need to pass my class. I feel like I probably should have just gone out and bought some, but never mind. Professor Gilbert will be the judge of that. They take a rag and a sample of chromed metal out of their drawer to test your polish. This is very good of a polish. Well to doing. Thank you. You are to pass in the class with colourful flight. Very funny. Professor Gilbert will to signing a transcript of yours and Gladness. They sign your transcript with a flourish, and they leave the room chattering excitedly about how great their motorcycle fenders are going to lose. Oh, great. You have graduated. Hooray. Do I get a silly hat? No, but I do have this hat, which I don't remember from earlier, but never mind. We'll get our photograph taken right now later. Okay, then. I have no idea how long we've been going for between all the jump cuts and everything. I have no idea, so we'll just keep going for a while. A head pops out of a storm drain. It must be that used textbook salesman again. There can't be too many of these guys. You haven't been buying your textbooks new, have you? I told you it's a scam. Buy used, always used. Speaking of, can I tempt you with this? Grant a melee damage rate. Okay, I think this guy turned up before and he offered me a book that was very expensive, but offered me a magic spell thing. But this again won't be much use because it's melee damage. It's very expensive, I know, and they want you to buy it new. You're absolutely telling the truth when you say that textbooks are ridiculously expensive for what you get, but it doesn't matter. Let us... I have no idea. Have I already graduated? I didn't go and see anybody about this, do I? What can you tell me about the man with an eyeball for a face? He's quite excited. Please don't be alarmed. I'm all confused, to be honest. Ted and I, our colleague Janet over there, to my right, share, shall we say, unusual past. What happened? We worked in the circus sideshow together. That was more than 30 years ago now. You don't seem like sideshow material. Perhaps not, but regard. He stands up and turns to face the wall. but he's still looking right at you. His entire back is an identical front, with another face on the back of his head, all with his clothes tailored to match. What? Please excuse me, but I do always enjoy the reaction of new students. He sits back down to a chorus of cracks and pops as his joints reverse into new positions. Sheesh. Sounds like me standing up in the morning. But never mind. Don't worry, it sounds much worse than it feels. A regime of stretching exercises keeps me as fit as a fiddle. Anyway, after the three of us escaped the circus, we were headed east, and the Institute took us in out of scientific curiosity and gave us work as librarians. How did you escape? That is not a story that truly bears recounting. Besides, the three of us prefer to look ahead and not behind, even for myself. Although technically I suppose you could argue you're looking after both sides simultaneously, but never mind. I think we're alright. Can we go in here now? I'm an alumni. I passed all my classes, you see. He inspects it carefully. After a moment, he nods, hands you back to the transcript, and gestures to the door with a thumb. Thank you. Right then. Now... I mean, I should have known it wasn't going to be as simple as just walking in here and picking the book up and walking out again, but never mind. All the furniture has been collected in a corner. This old man is chanting something in a language you can't understand, apparently conducting some form of a dark ritual, as opposed to crazy old men who, with less the stars in their eyes and more the void in their eyes, wandering around a satanic symbol, cackling in a bizarre language while performing the lightest of rituals. Of course not. With a rather important-looking book, which you have already noticed is generating some form of ominous dark portal. Excuse me, what do you want? Can't you see that I'm getting giddy on those eyes? Who sew his mouth up as well? Sewed his mouth up, even if I can get my verbs the right way around. It's just I'm looking for a certain book, and I'd frankly be amazed if it isn't the one you've got on your pedestal. And you think I'm going to give it to you? Get out of here! Hang on, let's go back to basics. Who are you? You don't recognise me? No. You're so traumatic to look at that the last time I saw you, I had to go to a therapist and get my memory wiped. I've only been enrolled here for the afternoon. Actually, you've been enrolled here for about 3 weeks, but that doesn't matter. I'm Dean Wormwood, and if you don't leave immediately, I'll expel you. But I already graduated. I mean, out of this dimension. Oh, goodness. What on earth are you doing? Did I not just tell you to interrupt me? Never mind. I can't read and I can't speak. You've already been instructed now, so you might as well tell me. Certainly. I'll just reveal my entire plan to some random grad student, whoever you are. That will certainly be to my advantage. Would it? Oh, you're being sarcastic. I appreciate that. Admittedly, it is difficult to tell people are being sarcastic in the written form. A stellar observation. 4 marks. Now get out of here before I put you into double secret probation. She's a friendly sort, isn't he? Criticizing candles. Your candles are rubbish. They're absolutely pathetic. I've seen better candles stuck around the bathtub of a stressed person. I never said it would be good at roasting people. I'm going to say, I don't think I'm going to get very far with those candles. Excuse me? You need some proper occulty candles for a job like that, not these store-bought ones. Listen, I know a guy. I'll have you know, I made these candles myself. They're pure beeswax and virgin's blood. Virgin's blood on a college campus, think again. It's a nerd college, you fool. Virgins are plentiful. No comment. Sure, as plentiful as beehives, right? Are you implying that my beeswax isn't? No, don't touch that! The Dean rushes forward as you reach to pick up one of the candles and accidentally brushes against the portal. He screeches in pain and terror as he's sucked into it with a whoosh, like a mouse caught by a shop vac. What's a shop vac? Never mind. Unless you mean like a vacuum cleaner inside of a shop. In which case, why are you trying to hoover up mice into vacuum cleaners? People do that with spiders, but not with mice. And then the portal vanishes with a quiet pop. Whoops. I mean, the portal's still there, but never mind. This is the book you're looking for. Oh wait, this is just a copy of the student handbook. There's nothing unusual about it. That cursed book has got to be around here somewhere, though. Is it on one of the bookshelves, or is it, Okay, good. This room does have an ending. Oh, that might be it there. It looks like it's smoking slightly. Naughty, you're not supposed to be doing that inside college buildings. There's rules. Well, there probably weren't rules about that back in 1928. In fact, it was probably encouraged. Okay, this is the book that I want. Check it out as in examine it or borrow it from the library. Both, I suppose. Alright, it's a roll. This book radiates menace. The spine is as dry and cracked as the spine of a spooky skeleton. What about the skeleton of a person who was buried in a river? That wouldn't be dry. The binding reminds you of a skeleton bound to a dungeon wall with rusty manacles. The picture on the skeleton of its cover also evokes something scary, but you can't place what it is. Alright, let's do something mind-bogglingly stupid and go through here. I have become a book. It is a floating N incorporated. What does that do? Alright then. What, can I need to spell out words using these letters? Alright. What if I go with nope? What if I go with nope? What does that do? Not much. What other words could I have? I could have open. There's a word I could have. I'm not very good at these sort of puzzles where you come up with words out of a random jumble of letters, but I have played them occasionally. Ooh. So now I can make another 4-letter word? Okay. What could I go? I could have... no, I couldn't have back. Really bad. Burke married into the Wright family, became a Wright Burke. Oh, I've done it wrong. No, I'm the Wright Burke, aren't I? I can't even spell. Can't even spell, let alone write. This is taking forever. Let's try bone. Some sort of vaguely spooky thing that might be useful. Or book, maybe? Maybe book would work. Because we can use we can use the same letter multiple times, which I didn't realise. That didn't take 15 minutes and 3 Google searches, honest. Oh no. What is this? Is this some sort of perk or something that I've currently got going on? Because you were talking about that as being an effect that I attained earlier. Is that a perk? I'm not seeing it. Do I just need to eat a load of the shadow stuff? Because I could do that. I could just shove a load of it down my gullet and see what happens, because what could possibly go wrong with that idea? We've got a load of salad we could do. Yes, let's eat a load of this. There we are, my shadow tape level has increased. Let's see if that is enough. Hooray! Let's open the case. The king in blue. You reach into the portal and open the briefcase. A bunch of papers suddenly blow out of it while you are busy collecting them. The energy ring slams shut behind you. How did I do that? How did I pick things up? How did I even open the briefcase? How did I even turn around? Given that I am flapping a book. Crumbling sheet music, the forbidden score to a forbidden play. Madness awaits in the corners of its dark. Word I don't recognise and we're going to pretend isn't there. Okay then. Dare I read either of these books? It is evil, but I'm going to read it anyway. Oh, for goodness sake. You open the book and the symbols on the first page writhe and change. The book is dangerous and you shouldn't read it. Oh gosh. Let's read this one instead. Let's start reading this book. The first piece has time signatures written in numbers you don't recognise. Your eyes cross a little and your heart begins to beat in an irregular rhythm. It is frightening but also comforting, and you gain 5 experience points. You wonder what the next piece is. This piece has a third clef, one you've never seen before. It's shaped like a pitchfork and every note is sharp. Sharp enough to draw blood and you don't even have to touch it. It's stuck on your finger. This seems really stupid and dangerous. Really stupid and really stupid and really stupid and really dangerous. What else have I got of that stuff? I've got shadow pickles. Let's use some shadow pickles. There we are. Good, good, good. This is really freaking dangerous. This is so stupid. This piece is chaotic, a cycle of fifths for each circle of hell. All at once syncopated forward and backward. It's like if Bach wrote jazz while chained to a wall in an institution for the criminally bonkers. Oh gosh, what is this? What? Your eyes do their best to read the words. 1 is corruption of the self, 2 is alteration of the environment, and 3 is domination of the enemy. Let's read alteration of the environment. That sounds interesting. And that, this is gonna be expensive. I probably don't have the XP for it. What's suffusion? That sounds exciting. You spend 100 XP and gain a perk. Suffusion. Bonds are weakened. Structures do not hold. Stats challenges are easier. Oh, that actually sounds pretty good. I probably don't have the... Oh, here's my perk level. You have corrupted your flesh and the shadows move within you. Wonderful. Alright! I probably don't have enough XP in order to do anything else. How much XP do I have so I can even see my XP level, which is somewhere? 97. Okay, I could get another one soon. But frankly, I think we ought to go home and go to bed, because this episode has probably dragged on for frickin' ever, but it doesn't matter. Let's just get the phone. What do you want now? Don Toblerone speaking. I didn't expect anyone else. That was unusually concise. Are you feeling alright? The boss is mad about our telephone bill. I've been encouraged to keep this brief. What's the job? Greasy Steve has the details. Hang on a minute. Why? Hang on a minute. I'm really confused. If I'm calling you, that means I'm paying the bill, because the person who calls pays the bill for the minutes on the phone, not the person who receives the call. So they call the office, and the office says that I'm not here, so they put the phone down. Then I call them back, and that's when all of this splendiferous pontification occurs. And I don't know where those words came from. So if anything, I should be paying the bill for these extensive conversations, but not you. Where's our friend gone? I do not know. I have the book. And also I have a bachelor's degree in chemicals, and I'm not entirely sure why. Sounds like a busy day. That is a fair assessment, and I want to go to bed. Okay, sleep tight, don't forget to uncurse the book. We're having trouble pinpointing the next artifact, but we should have it sorted by morning. Alright, we can at least have a quick look at, see the uncursing machine, how you loathe it. Oh, is this because of my shadow taint? Can I not uncurse these? I might have completely screwed this game up totally. I almost forgot, before you left on his errand, Charles asked me to have you pick a third store. Of course. The first one is Texas Instruments, a guy from Texas selling musical instruments, one presumes. The second is Jardware's Hardware. I guess if your name is Jardware, your options for writing business names are rather limited. And the next applicant is Truncheons and Bludgeons. This one's really excited about weaponry. I go with the hardware store. I don't know what that will sell, so I am excited to find out. And I'm sure the handyman will be happy for the extra hardware as well. You hang your poster up, making the space seem even more like a messy dorm room. You get tired of carrying the loose steam vent around, so you install it in the corner of the room. Hooray! I don't know how I picked one poster out of the 17,624 that I picked up, but it doesn't matter, because we are going to bed. Right, that was a hell of an event. So we're not totally finished in the SIT, because we need to go back and speak to Greasy Steve in order to get another bit of... Thank you for crying out loud. This game still manages to catch me off guard. Alright, so we need to go back to the SIT campus to speak to Greasy Steve. We also need to go back there in order to give Rufus his remaining fish eggs, of which I think I've only found 2 thus far. I have no idea where they are. Here they are, 2 of them, yes. I think I need a 3rd one. But all of that will wait until next week. I apologise if this video has been bizarre length due to all of the number of jump cuts and so forth, and I apologise for having to look so much stuff up. But I'm not a great fan of trying random combinations of numbers in the hopes of finding something that will work, so please forgive me. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.